Yes, that's right. We got him. The editor of New Jersey Globe, NJ Globe, is David Wildstein. Hey, David.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Doing great. We're going to put up the website as you speak. Tell everyone what NJ Globe is.
The New Jersey Globe concentrates exclusively on political campaigns and government in the state of New Jersey. And we do a laser focus just on that one area.
Yeah, and by the way, they are one of our media partners at New Jersey Globe. And by the way, you can also check out the NJ Globe Power Hour on 77 WABC every Saturday from 4 to 5, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing about you, David. People know you from a lot of different places. They hear your name. You Google David Wildstein, politics comes up. He ran for office in Livingston. You were the mayor when? How old were you?
I was 22 when I ran for the council and 25 as mayor. That was right. A very, very long time ago. 37 years ago, I ran.
Absolutely. You also look up at the Port Authority, Bridgegate. It will all come up.
It does.
But beyond that, David is an encyclopedia of New Jersey politics and government. As a kid, you were like 12 years old. You got involved in some New Jersey Senate race. Where's your obsession for politics come into your life?
Well, you know, it started very early. I met a state senator campaigning outside a ShopRite in Livingston. I was 12 years old. I thought it seemed pretty, like a lot of fun. And so I worked on his campaign. And after he won, he gave me a job on his Senate staff. He paid me $100 a year to file bills. And he used to take me to Trenton. His name was Jim Walwork. He was from Essex County. And he would take me to Trenton, or if he couldn't take me, Tom Kane or Jane Bergio would give me a ride. And so I was a nerd. I cut middle school to go to Trenton and sit in the caucuses and on the floor and learn about the process. And I have loved it ever since.
And by the way, the New Jersey Globe has been incredibly helpful to us in some of our programming where we look for historical photos, archival footage. David and his team, I should say David has, I don't know where he has a library somewhere. David, let me ask you this. Politics for years. You and I were kids. I was in the legislature running at 25. You were the mayor at 25 in Livingston. Obviously, our lives changed dramatically. But how much has politics in New Jersey changed dramatically in those years?
Well, you know, we look at it's changed. It's incredible how much it's changed because the civility between the two parties, despite disagreements, that's pretty much gone. And, you know, not just among elected officials, but among voters too, who take their politics more personally. I mean, I remember being a young councilman. You were a young assemblyman, and you and I would go out to lunch, and we didn't agree on every issue, but we could talk these ideas through. And I miss that. I miss that back and forth exchange that I think made government better by being able to hear somebody else's differences.
Do you think given the 2020 election, given January 6th, given people's vitriolic rhetoric around the vaccine and Biden's not going to tell me what to do, blah, 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 the whole bit, do you think there's a realistic chance that we could ever, if not get back to where we were with civility, but get to a much better place, David?
I hope so. I hope so. And look, I mean, you know, as students of history, one of the things that we have seen all the time is we have ebbs and flows throughout history. And there have been moments in America where things have been, you know, maybe worse than they are today, but they come back. And I'm just hoping that it's sooner rather than later.
New Jersey politics, right? I talk to people about, they say, oh, politics is politics. And I'll say, yeah, but New Jersey politics is a little different. What do you mean by New Jersey politics? You smile as I laugh. What do you mean when you say, come on, politics in New Jersey is a pretty unique brand? Go ahead, David.
You know, it very much is. And one of the reasons is that New Jersey has elections all the time. And even year and odd year and fire commissioner elections in February and some final holdouts. School board in April, and some towns have their elections in May, and you get to the primary, and the cycle never stops. It's sort of, you know, imagine being able to follow a sport, but there's no off season. You just got to go all the time, and you go from the World Series to spring training the next day, and that's how it is. And that's one of the things I love about it. And I love how every part of the state is completely different. If you've seen one county, you've seen one county. Everything is different, but somehow they all come together.
By the way, help people understand, we're a media organization, independent, not-for-profit media organization, has to raise money constantly to be on the air with our partners in public broadcasting and other folks that we deal with, other platforms. Your model, if you will, for what you do, how much of it is the advertising? Because we have to get, they're not sponsors, they're underwriters. Long story short is, how the heck do you run your business? Because it'd be great if you could just do the work, but that's not enough.
It would. And when I first started doing this, I didn't take any advertising at all. It just started as a hobby, and that was 21 years ago. But now it's all advertising based. And there, as you know, a big discussion in the media about paywalls and whether everybody should have access to the same amount of news, or whether there's premium stories that if you want to read it, you have to pay a little bit more. Or if you want to
some of those sites. By the way, the caucus, go on our site, steveadubato.org. No paywall, all free. There it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
No, and the New Jersey Globe's the same way. We made a decision not to do a paywall, and we're a small company. It's me. I have a reporter, Joey Fox, and we have Kevin Sanders that runs the business side, and we have set up a wall. So I don't see who the advertisers are on this site until they advertise, until I see the ad up. But it's hard, and there's balances all the time between the revenue side. Anybody who pretends that that people who are in the media are doing it as volunteers because we believe in it, unfortunately, it's not true. I mean, I wish it were the days of Benjamin Franklin, where he had his own little printing press and would stand outside in the corner and give out, sheets of his newspaper, but it's not. So what you have are enormous media conglomerates and they're for-profit business. And sometimes I criticize them, and sometimes I will criticize newspapers or other mediums for how they're covering the news. But I do understand that's their right. They got to keep the lights on.
And the Caucus Educational Corporation and our partners in public broadcasting have to keep the lights on, the cameras going, the team working. And frankly, half of our time plus is spent on the business side, just the way it is. Because no money, no mission. You ever hear of that one, David?
I have, yeah.
No money. Hey, listen, check out NJ Globe. You see New Jersey Globe, put it up there, check out their site. I'll be actually joining David for the NJ Globe Power Hour on WABC, 77 WABC from 4 to 5. We'll be doing a special on the governor's race. This will be seen after as well. Hey, David, I want to thank you for the work you do every day. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. I'm Steve Adubato. That's David Wildstein. We'll be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Holy Name, Valley Bank, NJM Insurance Group, Berkeley College, Operating Engineers, Local 825, Fedway Associates, Inc., PSE&G, IBEW Local 102, and by Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by ROINJ.
Data shows that many patients have avoided seeking critical health care in the wake of COVID-19 for fear of contracting the virus. Delaying medical care can have serious consequences, so you should never second guess or ignore your symptoms. At Holy Name Medical Center, we have measures in place to prevent infectious disease from spreading. We're clean, we're open, and we're safe for all your healthcare needs.